Hey gang, Jane here. Welcome back to the Meadow Blossom Blanket series. This is the second video in the series, and today we're diving into the join-as-you-go method specifically adapted for hexagons. In part 1, we planned out our color layout, blanket size, and got all our hexagons organized and ready for joining. If you haven't watched that video yet, I'll leave the link below. It's a good place to start since this video picks up right where we left off in that video. Now, I don't know about you, but if I can avoid sewing when it comes to making my blanket, I'm all in. That's why I love the join-as-you-go method. It lets me finish my projects with the same crochet calm I feel when making the motifs themselves. I originally developed this technique for squares, but I knew I had to adapt it for hexagons too. And here we are. We'll work through joining the first row step by step, going across the top edge first and then working our way back along the lower edge of row 1. Setting us up perfectly for row 2, which we'll be doing in the next video. I'll walk you through the repeat slowly the first time and then again a little quicker so you can really get the rhythm for this. And I've also added chapter markers for each repeat so you can easily come back to them while finishing the row at your own pace. When we reach the end of the row, we'll move on to that lower long edge using the same approach. 2 full repeats with chapter markers so you can take your time and finish up when you're ready. The long edge is where we're going to need our stitch markers, different than chapter markers that are on the video. The stitch markers are going to help us when we go to join row 2. So I'll explain where to put those as we go on that edge. And if you're someone who likes having everything laid out in front of you, you'll find the full 31-page PDF with written instructions, diagrams, and charts over in my shop. All right, let's get started. For this step, I'll be using just one color for the entire join. I've chosen white. I will be using a 5mm crochet hook, and that's the same size hook that I used for the hexagons themselves. You're also going to need a pair of scissors and a darning needle, and you're going to need some stitch markers. The ones that I use, they're flexible and they're called split stitch markers so that you can get them on and off. Any stitch marker will work that you can get on and off your piece. You could use a piece of yarn, you could use a paper clip, whatever works for you. I have my row number 1 stack sitting here with my little 1 label, and they are stacked in the order I'm going to use them. So the first square is on top, hexagon, I'll say square, hexagon. It'll go back and forth throughout the whole tutorial. And then it's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 is the last one of row 1. And that's how I stack them. I keep them on a ring just in case they get knocked over and they get out of order. And this keeps everything organized. So I'll open my ring and I'll take off my first hexagon. And I can leave the ring open over here, or I can close it back up if I'm worried my cat's going to come along and knock them all over. And I keep the post-it note on top so I know that this is the next square, not this one. And I push that out of the way. And now we're going to take a look at our first hexagon that we're going to join. In these hexagons, the single crochet is where the corner is. So I don't have a chain space corner like I normally would. I have a single crochet corner. So you can see that there. So to begin with, I'm going to mark that, and you can do the same. You can mark it with whatever you want, just so you know where we're going to start. So I'll go right through the single crochet itself. So then I'm going to mark the next 3 just for the ease of today to show you what we're doing. And if you want to do that as well, you can. And I'm just going through the actual single crochet at each of these corners, so that when we get to those corners, I'll be able to show you what to look for. And as you get going on this, it'll make more sense to you. But sometimes stitch markers are a great way to start because you'll know where you're going. So there, I have 4 of them, 1, 2, 3, and 4, because we're going to work up this edge, down this edge, and down this edge. So these stitch markers are going to show me where to stop so that I can learn where to stop, and then it'll start to make sense. So if you'd like to do that, go ahead and mark 4 of your single crochet corners on your first hexagon. So I grab my white yarn and I start at the first stitch marker that I've marked so that I have the 4 left ready. I'll be heading in that direction. So this stitch marker marks the corner, and the first chain space right here after the stitch marker is where we're going to join our yarn. So I join with a standing single crochet. However you want to work your first single crochet, you can do a slip stitch join, chain 1, and then work a single crochet in. Just get that single crochet in the first chain space to the left of your corner, which I have with a stitch marker. At this point, we are beginning A1. So as I told you, I'm going to say the letters so that you will be able to come back and find the repeats to continue on with the row. I'm going to work my yarn in as I go. We start with a chain 1 and we single crochet in the next chain space. We want to do that 6 times. Chain 1 and single crochet in the next chain space. That's twice. This will be our 3rd time. This will be our 4th time. And our 5th. And we have 1 more to go. Chain 1, single crochet in the next chain space. And you see that it takes us to the next stitch marker. So we've filled every one of the chain spaces between the 2 stitch markers. We're still working the A1 that we started here. We chain 2, and this creates a corner over top of this corner. And then we single crochet in the next chain space on the other side. So see how my stitch marker is right in the middle of that? That's the corner. Next, we chain 1 and single crochet in the next chain space. So we're working down the next edge of our hexagon. Chain 1, single crochet in the next chain space. We'll be doing this 6 times as well. So this is our first one. This is our second one. Chain 1, single crochet in next chain space. That's our 3rd one. 4th one. Chain 1, single crochet in next chain space. 5th one, and I have 1 more to do. And that has taken us to our next corner. At this point, we are at B1. And we're going to go down this edge. We start B1 with a chain 2, and that represents our corner that's going to go over top of this corner. Single crochet in next chain space. And now we start a repeat again of chain 1, single crochet in the next chain space 6 times. So pretty repetitive. To start with, we're currently working down the B1 section, and you want to do it 6 times. So this is my 6th right here, and it's taken me to the next stitch marker. When I tell people that they can use this technique for any hexagon, this number of repeats will change based on how many stitches you have, but for this particular hexagon, this repeat happens 6 times. You just work your way to the next corner, and it will give you 7 single crochets between your corners. Now we're going to be doing C1. We chain 1, and we flip the piece to the wrong side, back side, however you want to say it. I'm going to set it down, and I'm going to pick up the next square off of my batch here. So I open my ring, and I bring out the next hexagon. I'm sorry if square and hexagon, I mix that up constantly. I'm used to saying granny square. So we have this one flipped. This is the wrong side, back side. I take this one with right side facing me and wrong sides together and place it on top. And we're going to work our way up both these edges together. C1 asked us to chain 1 and flip, which we did. And then we're going to start D1. So C1's a really short one. C1's basically flip it and chain 1 and get the other one on top. Now we're going to be at D1. This is where it gets a little trickier. And once you get used to this stitch, this is what will be used throughout the rest of the blanket. D1 starts with a single crochet in your chain space to the left of the corner. So I didn't stitch mark these corners on this one. You could go ahead and do that. This single crochet right here is in the corner. See, you can see the corners down here, works its way up. There's the single crochet. I want to work in the chain space to the left of it. So right into this chain space, I want to work a single crochet, chain 1. Single crochet in the chain space at the back, in the back hexagon. So see how there's the corner, that's the last single crochet. I want to go right into this chain space that we just created when we came down. Single crochet into that one, chain 1. We come back to the front hexagon and we go into the next chain space that we haven't worked into. And that's the repeat we're going to do 6 times. So I'll walk you through it slowly again. We just finished our single crochet on the front, we chain 1. Then we move to the back and go to the next unworked chain space and single crochet, chain 1, come back to the front and work in the next unworked chain space and work a single crochet. That's your repeat you're doing 6 times. You've done it twice now. Chain 1, single crochet in the next chain space at the back, chain 1, single crochet in the next chain space at the front, chain 1, single crochet in the next chain space at the back, chain 1, single crochet in the next chain space at the front, chain 1, go to the back again, single crochet in the next chain space, chain 1, back to the front, next chain space. So you see how you're zigzagging along? And we do this until we've reached the corner again, which should be 6 times. This should be the last stitch. That's the end of that repeat. Let's take a look. So we started by single crochet in here. We did a chain 1 and flipped and started with a single crochet here. And then we did chain 1, single crochet in the back, chain 1, single crochet in the front. That was our repeat. Chain 1, single crochet in the back, chain 1, single crochet in the front. Second repeat. So then you can just count the stitches on the front. 3rd repeat, 4th repeat, 5th repeat, and 6th. Now we're ready to do the next stage after the repeat. Still working our D1 section. Chain 1. Now we want to single crochet in this chain 2 corner right here. So I've left my stitch markers in there to kind of help see where we're at. But this chain 2 corner, we're going to work into that next as a single crochet. Chain 1. And now turn and single crochet in the next chain space on this front one. So you're actually working over that corner. Single crochet in there. Let's take a look at what we've done. So we're finished D1 and we're back to A1. So this is where we started A1. So we'll be repeating this whole section all the way across. So we go back and look here. A1 is where we started and we worked our way up this edge, down this edge, and this is B1. We went all the way down to the bottom here, and when this is called C1, over to D1, very short little part there. And D1 takes you all the way back up, joining in a zigzag until you get to this corner again, which is A1. That's your repeat. I already have the letters in place, but I'm going to walk you through one more join, and then I'll skip to the end of the row. Because this works for any number of hexagons. I'm going to be doing 6, but you could do this with any number. Once you have this repeat, you just continue to do that to the width that you desire. All right, we're going to start with A1 again. Chain 1, single crochet in next chain space, and you're going to repeat that 6 times. So I'm just going to tell you as if you were reading the pattern, and then I'll walk it quietly until we get to the next section. So again, 6 times what I just did, and that one counts as the first. When you've done the 6th repeat, which takes you to this single crochet right before the corner, you will chain 2, still working A1. single crochet in the next chain space, chain 1, single crochet in next chain space 6 times. So the chain 1 single crochet is a repeat. You do that 6 times, and that's the first one. That's my 6th one. I've now worked up this side and down this side. Now we're going to do B1, and we're going to turn and go down this way. So the beginning of B1 starts with a chain 2, which works over top of the corner single crochet. Then we single crochet in the next chain space, chain 1, single crochet in the next chain space, and that's your repeat. You want to do it 6 times, this chain 1, single crochet. You're going to work your way down until you hit just before this corner. That should be 6 times. Again, we're working B1 now. And that's my 6th one right there. Now we're at C1. C1 asks us to chain 1 and flip our work to the wrong side. We're going to grab our stack and pull off the next hexagon, making sure that I latch it back up in case my cat decides to come and play with it. We laid this hexagon on top of the one underneath it, so the wrong sides are together. We're going to be working up this edge together. Now we're at D1. Single crochet in the first chain space to the left of the corner single crochet. So right in here, we want to work a single crochet, then chain 1, single crochet in that first unworked chain space on the back hexagon, chain 1, single crochet in the next unworked chain space on the front hexagon, chain 1, single crochet in the back hexagon, next unworked chain space, chain 1, and single crochet in the front hexagon. So that's your repeat there. Where's your repeat start? So your repeat starts after this single crochet. So chain 1 to the back, chain 1 to the front, that's your first. Chain 1 to the back, chain 1 to the front. So we've done 2. You want to do 6 total. So this one right here, this is the end of our 6th repeat. We end right beside this single crochet corner. And to finish off D1, we chain 1. We single crochet in this chain 2 space back here. It's a corner for the last hexagon. Single crochet there. Chain 1. Come back to your front hexagon and single crochet in the next chain space. So it's on the other side of that single crochet corner. That ends D1 and we're back to A1. Let's take a look again. See if we can get it all on camera here. Started here, beginning of row 1. This is our first hexagon. Worked our way up and down. That's A1. B1 is here. Worked down to C1, to D1, and back up to A1. And then we did it again. A1 all the way to B1, down to C1, across to D1, and then back up to A1. That's what you're going to do, and you can follow the chapter markers that I leave in this video if you'd like to work each one through the chapter markers. So I've done it twice, and I have the chapter markers in there twice so that you can choose which one you want to follow, the really detailed up here or the more just kind of watch me work, this one. We're going to add 6 of these. So you actually want to repeat this part. After you've done this one, you want to repeat it 4 more times. So we've done it once. We need to do it 3 more times so that we can get 5 joined. And then on that 6th one, you're going to repeat from A1 to B1, and then you're going to do B1 down to C1, but not do C1. Repeat this until you have 5 hexagons, and on that 6th hexagon, you will join it. You'll join it here on the D part, and then you're going to do the top part and the side, which is A1, B1. And I will meet you back at B1 on the 6th hexagon, where we will begin our long edge back. I have reached my 6th hexagon. This is number 5 here, and I came around and went down to C, D, up to A, and then I did A1 and B1, but I haven't done C1, so I have ended with a single crochet right before the corner. Now what we're going to do is come back along our bottom, working our long edge to take us back to the right hand side so we can start row 2. In order to work this edge, I have to flip my entire piece, like rotating it around so that I can work back this way. And I'm going to pick this up with my hook, put my hook back in. This is the end of B1 here. We would have normally done a C1, but we're not adding any more hexagons. So we end with a chain 2. This will be the corner, and then we're going to head right into the long edge. You're going to single crochet in the next chain space, unworked chain space, I should say. Chain 1, single crochet in the next chain space. We're going to do that 6 times until we reach the space right before this corner. So again, I haven't marked these, but you can go ahead and mark them even just with a piece of yarn if you're having trouble understanding where the corner is. But if you do this 6 times, you will end up there automatically. So that's our first time. Chain 1, single crochet in the next chain space. That's our second time. Chain 1, single crochet in the next chain space 3 times. Chain 1, single crochet in the next chain space 4 times. I have a black cat, and you're going to find he loves to sit on my crochet, and that's why I have these black cat hairs. I have a gray cat too, but apparently his hairs are black as well. Chain 1, single crochet in the next chain space. Chain 1, one more time, single crochet in that chain space, and it should be 6. If it's not, it means the hexagon, you were out of count with your hexagon. That happens. So we should have a total of 7 single crochets because we started with 1 and then we did the 6 repeats. So that's the started one, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more, which equals 7 total. And now we're at this corner. The next instructions will be to chain 2, and we're going to do it again. Single crochet in the next chain space, chain 1, single crochet in the next chain space 6 times. So we're going down the next edge of our hexagon, always working in the chain spaces and always putting a chain 1 in between. And you're going to want 6 of these repeats. The last single crochet is going to end up right before the corner single crochet. And this is where we're going to work our way over to this hexagon. So in the instructions, your repeat will start after this first single crochet. So we are going to be doing this section, and then hopping over this section and starting again. But I'll do it one more time to help you understand. This is also the place where we're going to need our stitch markers, so make sure those are handy. Chain 1 and single crochet in this chain space that was created at, we'll say C, when we came down B and went across at C and to D. This right here is that chain space, and that's the one you want to work into. Single crochet. Now we want a stitch marker in this chain space we just made. So I'm going to grab my stitch marker, grab 2, because we're going to need a second one. So coming back to what we just created here, we want to put a stitch marker in there because we're going to want to know where that is on our way back for row 2. Chain 1 and single crochet in the first unworked chain space to the left of this corner on the next hexagon. So single crochet right in there. And we're going to stitch mark this space as well. Again, you can use a paper clip, a piece of yarn, just make sure it's a different color than what your project has so you know the difference. So we have 2 chain mark spaces here and a single crochet in the middle of them. This is where the repeat for the long edge begins again. We've already done it once, but I'm going to show you it again and put it in the chapter markers as well. Chain 1 and single crochet in the next chain space 6 times. It's going to bring you up to here. Here we are after the 6 times. We want to chain 2. That creates our corner that's going to go over top of this one. Single crochet in the next unworked chain space, chain 1, single crochet in the next unworked chain space. That's our repeat that we're going to do 6 times, just this chain 1 single crochet. 6 times will take us back down to the next corner. So that's our 6th one, and you can see here that's the corner, and then we're going to work our way across this join. Chain 1 and single crochet in the chain space created at the join here, which would have been C. And put a stitch marker in the chain space you just created. I didn't get mine out, so I need 2 more. We want to put it in there. Chain 1 and single crochet in the next unworked chain space of the next hexagon. Place your stitch marker in that chain space that you just created. And again, we have 2 stitch markers either side of the single crochet. This is where the repeat is again. So go back into the chapter markers if you want to watch me walk through it. And we go up this edge, down this edge, and across the join. This repeat will be repeated 5 times total if you count the first one. But after the first one, you'll repeat it 4 times. So we've done 1 repeat. You want to repeat it 3 more times. It's going to take you to the last join here. And then I'll meet you here. And we will work this last hexagon together, prepping for row number 2. Now we finished our repeat 4 times and we still have this part of the final hexagon on the long edge, but this is actually hexagon number 1 of our entire blanket. We need to go over these edges. So we ended with our single crochet in the new hexagon or the next hexagon. Chain 1, single crochet in the next chain space. Chain 1, single crochet in the next chain space. We're doing just what we did way back here at the beginning. We're doing this section here. We're going to end before we do what would normally be the join. So work your way up to that corner in the same fashion as you have been doing. Single crochets and chain 1s. Working a single crochet right before the corner. Chain 2 over the corner and then single crochet in the next chain space and work your way back down to right before this corner. And that'll be 6 times as well. So you'll end up with 7 single crochets because you always start with a single crochet before the repeat. and you end right before that corner, and that's it. That's the end of the long edge, and we've completed row number 1. We're ready to do row number 2. To do row number 2, we're actually going to flip our work, and we're going to start working our way back over this way. So row number 2 is different than row number 1 because up here we just did a nice outside edge, but row number 2, we're going to be joining, and there's a lot of joining involved. So row number 2 and row number 3 are different than this one because they'll be joining the row above it. And then row 2 and 3 will be repeated all the way through the blanket. And that's a wrap for row 1. We've got our foundation in place and everything's lined up beautifully for row number 2, which we'll jump into in the next video. If you found this video helpful, I would love it if you could hit that like button. It really helps support the channel and lets me know that you're enjoying the series. Thanks so much for crocheting along with me, and I'll see you in the next video to join row 2.